Right, welcome back everyone, I remain Evil Tim, and this remains Castlevania Legacy of Darkness. You'll notice already there's a sun door here. What the fuck's that about, you think? Well, they have completely changed this stage, as it turns out. Why have they completely changed the stage, you say? Well, it's so that it takes about 50% longer. That's all there is to it. And what have they done to do that then? Well, they have given backstory to something. It's just something really stupid. Now, usually in a special edition, or add-on pack, for example, Half-Life Opposing Force, they would add in extra side stories or additional information that people care about. For example, in Opposing Force, you'll find out what the military's perspective on this was, albeit from the point of view of a good military person, as opposed to an evil military person, which most of them appear to be. However, in this one instead, we find out the backstory of that vitally important lever that we pulled at the top of the tower. Yes, the lever. The lever is more important than finding out the backstory to, oh, I don't know, Carrie, who has none whatsoever, the poor girl. And you'll also notice that they have slung in a whole bunch of extra moving blocks here to make this tower easier. This is one of the several configurations that can exist. You'll notice that there are less of these things around. You'll notice there are no Medusa heads at all around. They have all been completely removed from this tower, probably because everyone hated them. They were hateful creatures of hate that people hated. Which was a good thing to do with them, really, as it turned out, because they liked it. Because they were evil. Yeah, so we're going to be given a step-by-step guide to how random items we didn't give a goddamn shit about and still don't got into the locations where they are now. I don't know, it's sort of like, you know, walking around a farm with your cousin Cletus, and he points out how that there rock got there. There's a fascinating story behind that there rock. You see, this fella called Cornell came into town one day, and he was a werewolf and a right-ornery fella. And he says to us, well, I'm gonna go climb the castle wall over there. And we says to him, that's impossible. No one's climbed that there castle wall, not since the Depression. But, my gum, he climbed that tower. He climbed that tower and he fought that Bony Guardian thingy. And he beat it because he was a goddamn cheat. And here it is, the Bony Guardian thingy. We've got to defeat it again. It's pretty much exactly the same, only a couple of the glitchier aspects of it have been removed. And we can get it really easily. Why? Because they've changed the size of its flame, which means we can just climb up here and whack it to death. Now, I tried this when I was doing my test playthroughs of Castlevania 64, and it could still hit me up here, but this one, it can't. So far, in this entire LP, we have the only boss that we haven't been able to break completely was Creaking Skull, not Creaking Bone. I apologise for making that mistake, but nobody pointed it out, so I'm going to carry on saying it anyway. Anyway, you might as well call him Creeping Bone. I mean, he hasn't got the skull on his back, and there's more of him, so he has more bone. It's a more appropriate name, don't you know? Let's jump down here and grab some things. Right, we've got lots of sun cards, got various purifyings, and so moon cards, and so on. And you will now get the big ha-ha fuck you of this level. Here we go. There is a device for opening and closing the iron bars. Some words have been engraved. You must close all the open eyelids. Do you wish to operate the device? Yes. Fuck you. Yeah, we need to find the lever first. Now, you might deem this very slightly more realistic, but for one small problem. When we put the lever in, it appears on both sides. Marvellous. If I see that odd little rise in front of us, that thing has stuff under it. And I'm about to have a coughing fit, so if you'll excuse me, I'll just pause the commentary. Now, the curse of dry mouth, bane of all hell peers. Right, now, because we destroyed that, we got a whole bunch of red gems. I didn't do that in my previous one, partly because I'd forgotten it was there, and partly because I didn't need any red gems anyway. Right, you notice these green skeletons here. Now, the green skeletons just mark a spawn point. They don't actually do anything, but they're indestructible, so we can't do anything to them either. Right, now you'll also remember there was a day door down there. Now you have to be very quick at this, and you have to get the timing pretty much spot on if you want to get this right, because you have to climb that tower twice to solve the puzzle. Now, what is the puzzle, you ask? Well, the day tower, the one that we just climbed up, has a lever which closes all the open portcullises, which it calls eyelids for some reason. The other one, the night tower, has a lever which closes all the ones that are open and opens all the ones that are closed. So obviously we need to pull the switch in the day tower and then the switch in the night tower, and that is the fastest solution to that puzzle. However, that does involve using a sun card if you don't do this on time, or using various cards if you don't do it on time even more. which is silly. And now you're going to see another configuration of this tower because they've removed all those extra blocks they added in, which makes you wonder why they even bothered to put them in to start with, or where they've gone. Have they been sold? Have they been exported to Albania, perhaps? To be placed guarding a minefield? Who knows? And we've got bats, they can bugger off. These bats don't actually appear to be lurking in bat space today. Cornell is not followed around by it. So far, it has been merciful. But if he angers it, it will descend on him like 30 gallons of doom in a bucket. What, it's a legitimate expression, you've all heard it before. Yes, you have. Right, so just hop around here for no really good reason at all. And unfortunately, the Guardian does not reappear. You'll be glad, delighted, no doubt, to hear. However, all these do is so they can all piss off. And after this, we've only got one climb at the other tower, and then we can bugger off into the garden and kill off those Cerberus dogs again. Now, the axe is completely ineffectual against the Cerberus dogs these days because they move too fast to hit because of that big lazy high arc it has. However, it doesn't matter because I've died a couple of times in these videos, and therefore I'm down to a level 1 axe anyway, so I'm going to dispose of it and pick up a cross instead and use the power of Jesus against them, because it seems the power of Jesus is unbelievably strong, on a par with most modern howitzers. So next time somebody preaches at you, remember that. He can blow you the fuck up. And you listen to him, son. You listen to him, son. You listen to him good. Otherwise, I'll burn you. I'll burn you down and blow you up, son. You won't like that, not at all. Okay, so into the door we go again, and we are making to the top of the tower, having completely wasted our fucking time. And there you go, that is the fascinating backstory of the lever. How the lever appears in the other tower, God only knows. Maybe there's a second Cornell climbing that tower.